Hey guys, it's Sports Dude 13 here, and today I'm going to be doing my 2024 March Madness predictions. So this is what the bracket looks like with all the teams that made it into the tournament this year. But anyways, let's get started. So we're going to start off with the first four games right here. We got, if it will focus, Howard against Wagner. I think Howard's going to take that. Then we got Virginia and Colorado State. I got Colorado State. Then we got Montana State and Grambling. I'm going to go Montana State on this one. And then Boise State and Colorado. I got Colorado. Now we go on to the main bracket. We'll start off here at the East region. First up, we got UConn against Stetson. Yep, I don't think there's going to be a 16 seed upsetting a 1 seed this year. And UConn has been really good this year. And they're the defending national champions. Next up, we got Florida Atlantic against Northwestern. I'm going to go Florida Atlantic on this one, because they made the Final Four last year as a 9 seed. And I think they're ready for another huge run. Next up, we got San Diego State, another Final Four team from last year, against UAB. I got San Diego State. Then we got Auburn and Yale. I'm going to go Auburn on this one. Then we got BYU against Duquesne. That's how you pronounce them. BYU. Then we have Illinois Morehead State. Illinois. Then we got Washington State and Drake. I'm going to go Wazoo here. They've been something in basketball this year. Then we have Iowa State and South Dakota State. I'm going to go with Iowa State. As much as I want to pick the bunnies. The cute bunnies. Then we go down here to the West region. It's obvious that North Carolina is going to beat either Howard or Wagner, which I think Howard would come out of that first four game. Then we got Mississippi State against Michigan State. I'm going to go with Michigan State on this one. I think they can beat Mississippi State. Then we got St. Mary's and Grand Canyon. I'm going to have my first upset of this tournament. I think Grand Canyon is going to upset St. Mary's. Even though, as much as I just think that St. Mary's would move on there. But I feel like we got to pick at least one of these 12 seeds to beat a 5 seed. So I think that Grand Canyon, out of all the 12 seeds that are on this bracket this year, will be able to win their first round game, in my opinion. Then we got Alabama and Charleston. I'm going to go with Alabama. Then we got Clemson and New Mexico. I'm going to go with Los Lobos on this one. Los Lobos of New Mexico. Then we got Baylor against the Toothpaste team in Colgate. As much as I want to go with the Fighting Toothpaste, I got Baylor moving on. Then we got Dayton and Nevada. I'm going to go with Nevada moving on. Got to have a Nevada school winning in the tournament and at least having a move on. And then Arizona is going to beat Long Beach State. All right, let's go to the other side. In this one, we got Houston and Longwood. It's obvious that Houston's going to move on there. Then we got Nebraska versus Texas A&M. I'm going to go with Texas A&M on this one. Then we got Wisconsin and James Madison. I'm going to go with Wisconsin. Although James Madison has a really good record this year. Then we have Duke against Vermont. I got Duke moving on, although Vermont can give Duke a bit of a challenge. Then we got Texas Tech and NC State. I'm going to go with NC State because they won their conference tournament, and I think they can do something in this tournament this year. Then we got the Kentucky Fried Chicken against Oakland. Kentucky's going to move on. Then we got Florida against either Boise State or Colorado, which I think Colorado would win that. And I think that Colorado is going to take down Florida. And then we got Marquette and Western Kentucky. I'm going to go with Marquette. So there you go. Then we have Purdue and against either Mountain West or Grambling, which I think Mountain West comes out of there. I think Purdue will basically put last year aside and finally be able to beat a 16 seed in the tournament. Then we have Utah State and TCU. I'm going to go with Utah State. By the way, I do have a friend who goes to Utah State who graduated with me last year at my high school. So she was the one who I helped make cookies with. So I got to go with the Aggies in some way. So, yep. Next up is Gonzaga against McNeese. I'm going to go with Gonzaga. Gonzaga never loses in the first round. I've never seen them lose in the first round of the tournaments in all my years of watching March Madness. So, but despite the record McNeese put up this season. Next up, Kansas and Sanford. I'm going to go with Kansas. Then we got South Carolina and Oregon. I'm going to go with Oregon, upsetting South Carolina. They too also won their conference tournament in the Pac-12. And then I'm going to go Creighton beating Akron. And then Texas against either Virginia or Colorado State, which I think Colorado State will come out of there. I'm going to go with Colorado State. And then we got Tennessee, St. Peter's. Sorry, St. Peter's. There's no way you're going to take down the Vols. And no way. I'm never picking Tennessee to lose in the first round, ever. I will never, ever, never disobey the power of Miss Mace. All right, let's go to the second round. So UConn and Florida Atlantic. I'm going to go UConn moving on to the Sweet 16. And then we got San Diego State, Auburn. I'm going to go with San Diego State taking down Auburn. And that will set up a rematch of last year's national championship game in the Sweet 16. And then we got BYU and Illinois. I'm going to take BYU to upset Illinois. And then we got Washington State against Iowa State. As much as I want to pick Washington State because of the season they had, I'm going to go with Iowa State. Then we have North Carolina, Michigan State. As much as I want to pick Michigan State, I'm going to go with North Carolina. And then Grand Canyon, Alabama. I'm going to go with Grand Canyon moving on to the Sweet 16. Yeah, I think they can do something in this tournament. And then we got New Mexico and Baylor. As much as I want to go with Los Lobos, I'm going to go with Baylor. And then we got Nevada and Arizona. As much as I want to pick Nevada, Arizona moves on there. All right, let's go to the other side of this for the second round. Houston will take down Texas A&M there. And then we got Wisconsin Duke rematch of the national championship game from 2015. I'm actually going to take Wisconsin beating Duke. And then here we got Kentucky against NC State. I'm going to go with Kentucky. Then we got Colorado Marquette. I'm going to go with Marquette. Next up is Purdue, Utah State. As much as I want to pick Utah State because one of my friends goes there, I got Purdue moving on. They're too good. And then we got Gonzaga, Kansas. I actually got Gonzaga going to the Sweet 16. I think they're going to keep their Sweet 16 streak alive. Next up, we got Oregon against Creighton. I got Oregon upsetting Creighton. Because the last few times Oregon's been in the tournament, they've always made the Sweet 16. Then we got Colorado State and Tennessee. I'm going to go with Tennessee. Moving on. The power of Miss Mace lives on. As much as I want to go with Colorado State because I have a friend who goes to Colorado State too, who graduated a few years ago. Now we're on to the Sweet 16. UConn versus San Diego State. Rematch of the national championship game last year. And I think it'll be the same result as UConn will move on there. And then we got BYU and Iowa State, two Big 12 teams. Yes, BYU is in the Big 12 now. I think BYU is going to upset Iowa State and go to the Elite Eight. Next up, North Carolina, Grand Canyon. I think this is where Grand Canyon's run comes to an end. And then we got Baylor, Arizona. I got Arizona. Okay. Houston and Wisconsin. I'm going to have Wisconsin take down Houston. Because I feel like Wisconsin can just do something. Because even though they started off good this season, then they hit a bit of rough patches. But I feel like they've gone back on track. So that's why I think they can go on some run here. And go to the Elite Eight. And then we got Kentucky and Marquette. I'm going to have Kentucky in this one. And that will set up a rematch of a Final Four game that was both in 2014 and 2015. And then we got Purdue and Gonzaga. As much as I want to pick Gonzaga there, Purdue is just too good, especially with that Edey guy. He's so big. And just can go up and grab any ball that's in the air. And then we got Oregon and Tennessee. As much as I want to pick Oregon, I'm going to go with Tennessee. Gotta trust the power of Miss Mace there. So now on to the Elite Eight. UConn and BYU. I think UConn goes to the Final Four. Then we got North Carolina and Arizona. I'm going to have Arizona go to the Final Four. And it's also in their home state as well. So in Phoenix. And then we have Wisconsin and Kentucky. I'm going to have Wisconsin go to the Final Four. Yeah, because remember, 2014, Kentucky splashed a 3 to beat him there in 2014. And then 2015, Wisconsin ended Kentucky's undefeated season. So I think Wisconsin is going to send the Kentucky Fried Chicken home. And then we got Purdue and Tennessee. Oh, this is going to be a really good matchup. You got Ziegler and Connect versus that Edey guy. Who do I go with here? You know what? I got to trust the power of Miss Mace. I am picking Tennessee to take down Purdue to go to the Final Four. This is the year Tennessee finally makes it to the Final Four. All right, so now here are the Final Four teams on my bracket. We got UConn, Arizona, Wisconsin, and Tennessee. So starting off in the first four game, UConn versus Arizona. I'm going to go with Arizona, taking down the defending national champions, UConn. And the defending champions aren't defending no more. And then we got Wisconsin and Tennessee. I'm going to go with Tennessee on this one and have them go to the national championship game. That's right. Miss Mace, I have your Vols in the title game. I'm trusting the power of you. Ever since you have told me and gotten me to watch Tennessee games. All right. So now, here we are at the national championship game. We have Arizona versus Tennessee in this national championship game in Phoenix. Two really good college basketball teams. Arizona has a national championship. It's been a while since they won one. And Tennessee, you know, maybe this is the year they maybe go all the way or something like that. But I think that this year's national champion in 2024 will be Arizona, as they win it all in their home state. As the Final Four is in their home state, as well as the national championship game. And I think that the final score will be 80-75. So there it is, guys. My 2024 March Madness predictions. Let me know who you think is going to win it all down in the comments. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to join the Sports Dude Nation. And I'll see you guys later. And happy St. Patrick's Day.